Hi guys, and welcome to Reality with T. So now I have to go over Paige and Chris, okay? Um, Married at First Sight. Don't forget to click the like button, subscribe to my channel, share it. Let's try to get some more viewers for me, okay? So remember last week they supposedly hit the reset button, and this was Paige's idea, right? Which I'm completely disgusted by, but whatever. She says that he hasn't contacted her for the entire 2 days since then, which is like, that should let you know. Again, this is another, like, this is not even a flag. This is a manifestation of exactly what we already know. You know what I mean? So she shows, what I realized about him is he shows up for the camera but does nothing after. So if they say, let's meet here, we're going to have you meet up with Paige, your cameras are going to film, he'll be there. He'll be there. He'll say the right thing. He'll say what he needs to say on camera, but after that, it's a wrap. He wants nothing to do with her, right? And so she's sitting there by herself in the apartment that he never moved into. And she says, and she's got to wait. She's waiting for Dr. Viviana, saying, I hope he shows up, right? So he comes in, and he comes in with like his sweatsuit, and he kind of just, the way he talks to her is like a homeboy, like, yo, what up? You know what I mean? He comes in, sits down on his phone, completely not engaged, doesn't even really ask, like how she's, like, there's no conversation between them. It's just like, I'm just here because the contract told me to be. I'm going to say what I have to say, and then I'm going to leave. So, Dr. Viviana knocks, and he just has this very, this distant, well, this is your house. Like, yeah, it is so third grade. You know what I mean? Like, this is your house. You were supposed to move in. You know what I mean? Like, I never made you feel like this wasn't your house. Like, what is this whole thing? Like, just open the door. You know what I mean? Like, you're being really petty right now. So, and I just thought that was just so whack. Like, so whatever. She opens the door. Vivian is talking to him. He says that he was in a depressed state after everything that happened with the wedding and finding out that he had a baby on the way. He kind of lost it. He wasn't himself, blah, blah, blah. And my thing is, like, I understand that, but when does he check in to see how Paige probably felt even worse than he did? You know what I mean? And so Paige says, it was a nightmare for her. This whole experience she's been devastated. She came in ready to start a family, and then you come in and you realize you're secondary to somebody else, and you don't even know that you were set up in this situation. So Dr. Viviana asked her, like, why stay? She's asking her the question that everybody in America wants to know. Why are you staying? And then here she goes again. Because God, it's ordained by God. He wants me to be a supportive wife and the whole thing. I just feel like it's just fake. Like, she can't really be still, after all that this man has shown you blatantly in your face, and this is like second grade reading, you still are saying this is ordained by God. I really don't think that God would have planned this out for you. You know what I mean? You have an out, I would have left. So, Viviana said, well, what would you want from him? You know what I mean? And she just says, can I at least get a phone call once a day? And my whole thing was, number one, I was like, he don't want to talk to you. That's why he's not calling you. If somebody wants to talk to you and get to know you, they would call you. They would text you. They would make sure you're okay. He doesn't want to talk to you. And then my second thing was, well, dang, that's all you want? You're going to be in a relationship with somebody and you only are expecting the minimum from him. That's all you're asking for, a phone call a day. I get a phone call a day from my mother or my sister, or you know what I mean? Like, you're supposed to be in a marriage working toward this thing for 8 weeks, and all you are asking for is a phone call a day. That is just so minimal, and it sucks. I feel so bad that she thinks so small of herself. Like, I only deserve the minimum. To me, I would be like, you need to have me on a helicopter jumping through hoops to get me back, because I'm not dealing with this. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to do something real big, and probably nothing he can do. But I'm just saying, if I was put in a situation where it's like you have to ask him for something, you're gonna give me the most. I'm not going to ask for the least, and he's not even doing that. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, oh my God, I just wish she had more dignity. And also don't let she's on camera, and then you're going to have to see this, and all your family sees this, and friends, and all the people in the future, the people you're going to date in the future have to see this, and now they already have a preconceived notion of the way that you behave. It's just, I'm just over it. And honestly, I am over her. I'm getting over her. Like, I'm just like, now when I watch their scenes, I'm like, they're just dragging this out. You know what I mean? They're just trying to play with us. So then, Chris says, he doesn't want to feel forced to call her. Okay. His heart isn't in it 100%. Nobody's forcing you to. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you feel like you have to force somebody to do something, I don't want you to call me if you feel forced. You know what I mean? Like, so then his thing is, He doesn't want to feel forced, but you know what? I'd rather do something in person. I'd rather pick you up, meet you, we go take a walk, we go do this and that. So you don't want to do the minimal, but then, like Viviana said, but then you would rather do this, which is even more, going, meeting in person and planning dates and the whole thing. That's even more, but you don't want to do the minimal. And it's more of a control thing. Like, I just don't want to do what you want me to do. I want to do what I want to do on my terms. And somebody said, I watched another YouTube review. Somebody said he don't want to be seen in public with her. You know what I mean? Like, he wants to plan all the things and where they're going to be and I don't know. It's just the whole thing is sick to watch it. You know what I mean? So then, and Paige says at one point, I feel like I'm in grade school. So why would you even accept being in this situation if you feel that way? But whatever. To me, she is acting like a middle schooler as well, because you're not expecting more of it. Like, you're falling for his preschool pranks pretty much, right? So, and the thing is that he says that he wants to meet in person, but then he doesn't do it. You disappear. You know what I mean? So everything that comes out of your mouth is just straight BS, So, they talk about the covenant before God, blah, blah, blah. So then she writes down a plan for everything they're going to do for the next week, for every day, right? And he said something about skip Sunday. He has a conflict. And my thing is like, I thought you were so into church. Like, is the conflict church? And if church was the thing, shouldn't you guys be going together? Like, why is there conflict on a Sunday? Because you're going to church with Mercedes. You know what I mean? Because you're supposedly so into God. Like, that didn't make any sense to me. She said, well, do you want to play card games? Yeah, I play card. He says, I know how to play, but I don't play card games. Why? They talk at one point about the movies, and he says he likes action movies. So she says, okay, we're going to go see an action movie. No, we're not going to. I don't want to see the movies. Like, what kind of games are you playing here? This is all control. You know what I mean? If she comes up with something, then no, like, I don't know. It's very sick to me. And so, they decided they want to first do Bible study, of course, right? So I think he suggested it. We need to have God in this because God hasn't been in this. This is the reason why we are the way we are. And so, he comes the next day or whenever it was to have Bible study. He bought food. He bought dinner. Mind you, he bought her fried chicken wings and a box of biscuits. And it just reminded me of a thin line between love and hate. A thin line between love and hate with Martin. When when the guy came in and gave Regina King the chicken box of biscuits, and Martin was like, a chicken box? Like, so this sitting up here chomping on this fried chicken, of course, and here we go, black people on TV with the fried chicken, but whatever, that's a different conversation. And so she says, do you want to bless the food? No, he doesn't want to bless the food. He never wants to bless the food, right? Anything she suggests him to do, to lead, he does not want to do it. So he says, you bless the food. Again, I thought he was a pastor. You can't say a simple grace. You know what I mean? So he has no Bible study materials prepared. I don't even think he pulled out his own Bible. He puts absolutely nothing in. You know what I mean? Like, she actually was prepared. It's almost like she's a child. She goes, oh my goodness, she has her Bible, beautiful Bible. She picked her scripture out. She's reading, but it's almost like, I'm going to suggest something. I'll put everything in your court. And then I guess if it gets screwed up, it'll be on you because I let you do everything. I don't know what it is. She's taking notes. She's all into it. And then, of course, he brings up the baby situation with his DAF, his dumb ass face that we're all sick of, right? So he says, it starts off with this whole sob story about Mercedes. And I'm like, Mercedes is getting so much airtime and she's not even on this show. I can't imagine how Paige feels. You keep bringing me, I'm supposed to feel sorry for Mercedes now, your ex, and you're telling me this whole, you can see her face, like you're telling me this whole story about her. Like, why would I care, So she was in a car accident 6 years ago and she hasn't driven since because she's so scared, but he feels like she needs a way to get around Atlanta. So he bought her a Mercedes Benz. Now, I can completely understand you say she needs a way to get around and you want her to be safe. Why does she need a Benz, So he bought Mercedes a Benz. Like I said, it could have been a Honda, a Kia, whatever. But why he needed to do that, and the woman is only, 8 weeks pregnant by now, doesn't make any sense. Why he had to tell Paige when he didn't even tell her before he did it doesn't make any sense. He basically, I feel like he's letting Paige know Mercedes is always going to be above you. If he isn't doing that intentionally, she needs to pick that up, that Mercedes will always be above her. And that's what he wants her to know, right? To to me, I think it's so cringy seeing him deal with Paige, because we know that it's almost like he is trying to like, you know, when they say, what is that term? When they say, you're trying to stick them with a screwdriver and just keep turning it. You know what I mean? Because he's just trying to, it's almost like he's just trying to get a reaction from her. How much can I hurt her and she still be here? How much can I, twist the knife? That's what it is. How much can I twist the knife and she still be there? And he's doing it to somebody who did absolutely nothing to him. And it's almost like he enjoys it. He says it with a smirk on his face. He wants to see her reaction. In the moment, she usually doesn't give a big reaction to him. So he just feels like, it's like, what can I do next to push her even further? You know what I mean? And that's the sad, cringy part about it. And it's also cringy because he is so corny about it. And his games are so elementary school. And the fact that she falls for them, it just makes us more upset at her. You know what I mean? Like we expect more from her and we just haven't gotten it. Either way, let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I will see you on the next video where I will discuss Jacob and Haley. Bye-bye.